HEVNS Garden, the Fruit of the Spirit. Prologue. Why study the fruit of the Spirit? Thesis. To study the fruit of the Spirit is to study the evidence of divine life in the human soul, the tangible signs of God's transformative presence, and the markers of spiritual maturity that distinguish mere religion from genuine, spirit-filled living. It is both an inward journey of personal formation and an outward witness to a watching world. 1. Fruit as the evidence of spirit-filled life. Paul in Galatians 5:22-23 presents the ninefold fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, karpos pneumatikos. Unlike gifts, charismata, which empower specific ministries, fruit is visible character that grows quietly but steadily, a living testimony to God's ongoing work in the heart. Lexical insight. The Greek word karpos indicates one organic, integrated harvest, multifaceted yet unified, a single reality manifesting in various virtues. The fruit is not a checklist, it is a life-shaping process, the outward evidence of inward union with Christ, John 15:1-8. Theological insight. Augustine repeatedly emphasizes that charity, caritas, or love perfected, is the root of all spiritual fruit. Without love, other virtues are incomplete. Studying the fruit is therefore studying the work of God in ordering the human heart. Studying the fruit makes the invisible Spirit visible. It allows believers to discern whether the Spirit is active in their lives, or whether they are relying on natural impulses, self-discipline, or social conformity. 2. Fruit as a measure of maturity. Spiritual maturity is not measured by knowledge, eloquence, or religious performance, but by evidence of transformation in the crucible of daily life. Paul contrasts fruit with the works of the flesh, Galatians 5:19-21. Indulgence in sin leads to destruction, while spirit fruit leads to life. Practical implication. Studying the fruit enables self-examination, 2 Corinthians 13:5, and community evaluation. It reveals areas needing growth and provides a roadmap for sanctification. Theologian's perspective. John Owen notes that trials, temptation, and disciplined spiritual practice reveal whether virtues are spirit-produced or superficial. Aquinas emphasizes that virtue, once habitual and internalized, becomes the lens through which all actions are measured and refined. Thus, the study of fruit is not theoretical. It is diagnostic, formative, and aspirational, offering the believer clarity on the trajectory of their spiritual life. 3. Fruit as testimony to the world. Christ emphasized that disciples are known by their fruit, Matthew 7:16-20. Studying the fruit is, therefore, studying Christian witness, the visible manifestation of God's kingdom in human character. Social impact. Love, patience, kindness, and faithfulness influence families, workplaces, and communities. Joy and peace testify in suffering. Self-control and gentleness provide stability in conflict. Spiritual warfare dimension. As believers face trials, persecution, and internal struggles, fruit acts as evidence that the Spirit's life is prevailing. Studying fruit equips believers to persevere with purpose, embodying Christ in challenging circumstances. Theologian's perspective. Calvin teaches that union with Christ produces enduring fruit that glorifies God and serves the community. Bonhoeffer insists that costly fruit, produced under trial, is the hallmark of authentic discipleship. 4. Fruit as a cooperative process with the Spirit. Studying the fruit emphasizes cooperation with the Spirit. Prayer, meditation on Scripture, service, accountability, and reflection are not optional. They are conduits through which the Spirit forms character. Lexical note. Hypomone endurance, prots gentleness, egkrateia self-control are not abstract ideals. They are lived practices, formed daily, refined under pressure, and nurtured in community. Spiritual insight. Packer highlights that studying fruit is learning how to walk in step with the Spirit, Gal 5:25, cultivating habits that produce both inner transformation and outward witness. 5. Narrative illustration. Consider Miriam, a young professional navigating the pressures of a demanding job and a complex family life. Knowledge of Scripture and spiritual gifts enabled her to function, but she often felt shallow and reactive. When she intentionally began observing, journaling, and reflecting on the fruit of the Spirit, patience in traffic, gentleness in disagreements, faithfulness in commitments, she noticed a steady transformation. Others began to see Christ in her behavior before they heard her testimony. Studying fruit shifted her focus from performance to spirit-shaped character, producing a life that endured trials and testified to God's grace. 6. Conclusion. Studying the fruit of the Spirit is essential because it reveals God's work in the heart. measures spiritual maturity, and identifies areas for growth. Equips believers to bear witness through character and conduct. Forms habits in partnership with the Spirit, making transformation intentional, sustainable, and visible. The book you are about to read is not merely an academic study, it is an invitation to life-transforming practice. Each chapter, story, exercise, and prayer is designed to guide believers into deeper union with Christ, producing fruit that endures, witnesses, and glorifies God, the ultimate goal of a Spirit-filled life.